Instructor Carl here. We're looking into repackaging our 200-foot cross lays. On the tower truck currently, we've come up with a new design that puts the coupling in the nozzle at the door, and it allows us to deploy roughly anywhere from 25 to 50 feet away from the door, and you get everything you need. With our old loads, we have our 2.5 here with the old load. It's 200 feet, and we have to walk out 200 feet, and the couplings just kind of land where they land, and then we have to go towards the door. You end up with the nozzle at the door, and then you have to go back to your coupling. Alright guys, so we're going to deploy the 2.5 to 200, and we're going to go straight to the door just to show you kind of what it looks like. So the engineer is going to have to clear the remainder of the hose bed just like normal, but this is what we get if you were to go directly to the door with what we have right now. So we're going to have to do some hose management on the ground here. That's our first coupling. And here's our first coupling, all the way back at the truck. Alright, so we've just designed the newer one to move the coupling and one of our folds. All we've done here is move the folds in line with the adjacent couplings to get the couplings in the right place at the right time. There's our first coupling. So since we're so close to the building offset, we do have our nozzle. We have our first coupling at the door. It's going to give us a 50-foot easy advance. If you look at the 2.5, this is actually our first coupling here in all of the spaghetti. You're still going to have an engineer who's going to have to clear the hose bed depending on the offset. But as easy as that.
Alright, here's a different way you can pull it. As you see, our blue line, that was just straight to the door. When we get on scene and we're still waiting for everyone else to get there, there's another way where you could just grab the nozzle in the first loop and then the engineer, or you can come back and grab the second loop, and really you're just gonna pull it. Come back, grab the second. And now you got first coupling and your nozzle at the door.
Fold on 4. 3 up, fold on 4. So our first coupling in the first section is going to be on 6. So we got 5 on the bottom on your 6th.
like we were talking about earlier, it's the same pretty much back and forth as our old way that we loaded it. But the key is, as you can see where it's piped here, is we want to start it back. As we go back, that creates our first fold on the other side. Instead of doing it the short way, you need to take it the long way back. If you notice, one of the things that we have to do instead of putting them side by side is when we get over on that side, our loop is going to be on the opposite as the one that we're doing. So mine is going to be on the left side, and his is going to be on his left. So they're not going to be on the same run back and forth. They'll be on the opposite side. No, because it's make a Dutchman in the middle so that we get the coupling in the middle so we can pull the line off both sides. That's all. That's a little different between this one and the other load, is trying to get that coupling in the middle, so if you want to pull it off the driver's side or the opposite side, it's still in the middle, and it's going to be next to your first loop and the nozzle.